Welcome to another conversation. I'm Tom Williams, and our guests today, two legends in South Jersey sports, two men that made a difference. Tony Surace, the retired athletic director and coach from Millville High School, and Frank Campo, the retired athletic director from Atlantic City High School. They're here at Iliano's Ristorante in Hamilton, and we'll talk to them right after this. Prime Events, in association with Crossover Productions, presents A Conversation with Frank Campo and Tony Surace. Brought to you by Iliano's Ristorante, 705 12th Street in Hamilton. Diners in Hamilton have known Iliano's for decades. For the rest of you, it's worth the trip. Now let's begin the conversation with Frank and Tony at Iliano's Ristorante. There they are, Frank Campo on the left, Tony Surace on the right. Tony, what do you remember about the first time you met Frank?
Football game, Bader Field. Frank was the athletic director, and he came running over to me like there was a fire. He probably doesn't remember this. And he said, Coach, you need chalk? I said, Frank, I'm good. I need players.
Wow.
You don't remember that, do you?
I thought you were going to say about you called me. We were playing Millville in a game, and you called me, and I said, "Listen, the weather's fine here." I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember.
And then the bus pulls up, and there's like a monsoon. Yeah.
So you guys have lots of memories together.
Oh yeah. A good group of guys in the Cape Atlantic League.
Well, when I became athletic director, Frank, and he was a legend there already, they welcomed me with open arms, and so it was a lot easier transition, having a good friend like Frank mentor me.
Right.
A lot of people in the Cape Atlantic area don't realize your athletic histories before you became coaches. Frank, tell us a little bit about your family life and your athletics at Penns Grove High School.
Grew up in a small town, Penns Grove, New Jersey. My main sport was football, a little running back, not very big. When I graduated from high school, I actually got a little bigger, and I did little bit of wrestling. I didn't, to tell you the truth, I participated in college, but not long. Now they have all these rules to protect you. And I was told to get down to too much weight that I didn't appreciate. So it left a sour taste in my mouth, but I eventually got over it.
When you say you played a little football, I mean, weren't you all South Jersey and outstanding career?
That's a little bit of football, yeah. Well, you want me to say everything's embellished when you get older. I was Tri-County scoring champion. Lydell Mitchell beat him out, but now I'm hearing stuff like I led the state in scoring and all that. I'd kind of like that, but it's embellished.
And you went south to college, right?
Yeah. Eastern Kentucky University.
Why?
Masters at Villanova. Why? Because I was Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn going through high school. I didn't start hitting the books till probably my junior year in college, it was a worthwhile experience.
So, Tony, how about you? What was your family life like? Where were you in high school?
Well, I grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and played 3 sports in high school. And my high school coach was a guy named Pete. Assistant coach was Pete Tate, who just passed away. He was an assistant at Penn Saucon under Vince McEnany for many, many, many years. In fact, Vince's whole career, he was the assistant, and he took over as a head coach. He passed away a few months ago, and Pete grabbed me and said, you want to be a health phys ed teacher and coach? You're going to Westchester, where he went. So he took me down there, and I enrolled and played football and baseball. And my senior year, going into my senior year, a guy on the staff, Mike Darr, working in Millville, said there's a job open, and I'll try to get you an interview. So Vince Hoke was the head coach at the time. He's from Harrisburg. He knew me, and so I went down. I interviewed in May of 1969, and I've been there for 54 years now.
Wow.
Never left. Tried to leave early. They tried to kick me out, but
What was that story?
well, my first year we won the conference, and my second year we won 2 of our first 3, and then we lost 3 in a row. And yeah, it's true. They put a for sale sign in front of my house. I don't know who they were, but they did. And I met with a college teammate of mine who was an assistant at Maryland, Tom Park. Gave me some really good ideas to try to motivate the kids, and then we won the county title. So job saver. So the counties were big back then, as you probably know. Beating Bridgeton and Vineland was a job saver. So and then the 74, 72 I got the football job. 74 I got the baseball job, and I did that for 19 years together.
In 75, you made history.
75, our team made history. Yes.
11-0 and the first South Jersey champions. Millville was the first state champions last year. You were the first from the Cape Atlantic area South Jersey champions.
Yeah, and I thought it was easy. We had Bubba Green, who played at NC State and with the Colts. I had Calvin Murray, played with the Eagles. I had Jim McCormick and Richie Andrews, who were Division I AA All-Americans. I found that wasn't so easy after that.
Who influenced you to become a coach?
Well, I just always enjoyed playing. So, I had good Little League coaches, and my whole thing was sports when I was growing up, playing sports, studying sports. And so when I was in high school, I knew that's what I want to do. I want to be a health and phys ed teacher, and I want to coach. So it was just kind of like what I always wanted to do.
Did you coach, Frank?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
I was a head track coach at Atlantic City High School 5 years, and an assistant football coach for I believe 5 years as well. I thoroughly enjoyed both coaching football and track. A lot of memories, different student athletes, and see how they went on and became successful in the working world. Lawyers, policemen, firemen, etc. And really enjoyed it. And my favorite group, of course, was the Hurleys. Jay, the best distance runner at Atlantic City High School, and the twins, and a number of athletes I still have a real good relationship with. Stephen Brogg, that's a lawyer now, ran cross country and track. All good people, and made a contribution to society later on.
Do you remember your first game, your first meet?
My first meet, boy, that's a tough one.
Nobody put a for sale sign on your lawn.
No. All I remember is it was tough at Bader Field, because the city owned Bader Field, and you never knew what you were going to encounter there before either a football game or a track meet, which I won't go into right now, but it was a life learning experience in some aspects. The city was tough to work with at that time. I'm glad Atlantic City had their own facilities later on when we got the new high school.
Right. We'll be back with Frank Campo and Tony Surace. Campo and Tony Surace. Frank, they say behind every successful man is a great woman. Tell us about Mrs. Campo.
Well, again, a great lady, very patient with me, endured all my long hours, and a tremendous mother. I mean, I'm very proud of the fact I'm sure Tony is. Both my sons are successful, and she's been the main contributor for that. Just a wonderful woman. And she put up with me. I'm not all there.
How about,
No argument.
how about Mrs. Surace?
Well, we were high school sweethearts, and I actually, funny story, we had talked about getting married. She wanted to get married. So we planned to get married Thanksgiving my junior year, and our team got in the Tangerine Bowl, and they took all the wives to the game. So that was our honeymoon, cheap honeymoon, right? She got a free trip to the Tangerine Bowl. So she knew what she was getting into right away. But coaching, being a head coach in two sports, having two small kids, people say, why don't you golf? I coaching two sports, weight room in the summer baseball. I coached Legion ball for a couple of years with our teams. I didn't have time. So now I go out, I'm not a good athlete, hit the ball, left, right. So no golf for me.
Well, each of you have great families, but each of you has one very successful son. Your son, Tony, is coaching probably the smartest college team in the country.
Well, certainly allegedly one of the smartest teams. When they jump off sides, I don't think how smart they are. I think, how can they be so dumb? But no, this is his 13th year. It's hard to believe he's been there that long. And the first 2 years, they won one game each year. I thought I'm not sure he's going to make it. The athletic director who hired him, you might remember, Gary Waters, who was a great basketball player at Princeton. He was the AD, and he gave Bob great support. He said, he's the cupboard's bare. He'll have time to build it up, which he did. And I don't know what the stats are, but he's won a number of Ivy League championships. So things have gone very well for him, and great college campus to raise your family. So my grandkids are all, been able to enjoy that campus life.
And Frank, I mean, your son is on the all-time Penn State baseball team. He was the Big Ten Player of the Year.
Right.
Got drafted by the Angels. Could have been playing against the Phillies today.
Yeah. First team All-American, led the nation Division I in hitting. The hitting streak, I think it was 42 or 43. And Michael, he's so humble. I say, get these awards out of my basement. You got, most valuable. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. And my younger son was a decent wrestler, not great. He went to college, started lifting iron, pumping weights, and getting into jiu-jitsu. And now he benches over 400 pounds. He's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, which means he can teach. And why didn't you do this stuff in high school? You could have saved me money,
And Mike is doing what?
He is assistant general manager at Cleveland Convention Center in Cleveland, Ohio. He lives outside of Cleveland, but doing very well.
Saw him play with the Wilmington Blue Rocks.
Oh, yeah, he made the California All-Stars. You're right. Yeah.
We'll be back with more Frank Campo and Tony Surace. Continuous support from Shoppy's Trophies and Gifts. Order online at shoppy.com. Calvi Electric, with over 110 years of excellence in electrical contracting. Gillian's Wonderland Pier, amusements with a family in mind on the Ocean City Boardwalk. Shore True Value Hardware, they're ready to help on New Road in Summers Point. Johnson's Famous Popcorn, open all year on the Ocean City Boardwalk. Blue Water Graphics, if you need signs, you need Captain Charlie. And Ulmer's Appliances, a family-owned and operated business in Cape May County for 50 years. Gentlemen, let's throw out some names and tell me what comes to mind. Tony, Jim Quinn.
Well, Jim Quinn has been a lifelong friend of mine. I say lifelong since I've been in Millville. Started broadcasting our games when I first started as an assistant coach in Millville. And, he's, as you are the voice of Ocean City, he is the voice of the Millville Thunderbolts. And did a number of shows like this, round tables, things to promote, to promote sports. Then he got into the political world and really changed a lot of, for the good in the city of Millville. His goal was to be the mayor, and he achieved that. I think he might have won 3 times as mayor. And but Jim's a very good-hearted guy that really cares deeply about the city of Millville and the sports teams.
Frank, how about Ed Burns?
Oh, wow. Eddie and I were pretty close. His wife and my wife went to high school. That's how I first got to really interact with him. Good guy, great AD, real good football coach. And I missed him for a long time. I mean, I still think of him and all that, but a really good guy. And he was always looking out for the kids when we would discuss even things like how many awards we're going to give out, and just a overall good person.
He'd rather give out more.
Yeah, more than.
There's a tie,
right.
And the Cape Atlantic League rule, you got to break it.
You can only give 7.
Ed would say we're giving them both.
Yeah.
Tony, how about Mike Trout?
Well, I don't have as close a relationship with Mike Trout as my wife did. She had him in nursery school when he was 3 and 4 years old. My wife only worked half a day. Mike went to school half a day. So my wife would take Mike to his grandmother's. So he rode in her car every day to his grandmother's. Did my wife save one of those papers that he wrote his name, that we'd have that first autograph? No. So, but anyway, when Mike sees her, he always comes over, gives her a big hug, really, had a great relationship with her, back then. But, Mike is, what can you say? He's, one of the faces of Major League Baseball. He is the single sole supporter of the Millville Thunderbolt Club, the golf tournament. That we gave $35,000 in scholarships last year, and it's all financed through the golf tournament. So I know he gets all the publicity now for the Trout National golf course, but he gives back considerably to the community, especially through the Thunderbolt Club.
Was there a moment when you knew this guy was really special?
Well, the first time I saw him play as a freshman, I was talking to the coaches, Roy Hollenbeck and Kenny Williams, and they said, after the game we were talking, they said, when we first brought him up, we didn't know if we could keep him because he just was really nervous in practice and everything in the beginning when they first brought him up as a freshman. And then a few practices in, he got more comfortable, and that game I go to, I said, guy's not a freshman, even though he was smaller then. He wasn't as big as and then you go back and see him as a sophomore, grew a couple inches, and then his junior year, he's 6'2", 200 pounds, and, every scout in America is at the game. Pretty exciting to have all those people, at our games, and he's given back considerably to the baseball team. I told his father, Jeff, who I coached, I said, I wish we had this money when I was coaching because, they get new uniforms, they get new hats, they get, everything they need. They have no wants for that baseball program.
Frank, how about Joe Fussner?
Oh, wow. Joe was an outstanding coach. Well, for the the girls' team, and then when he took over the boys' team. And I have to say this, he was unjustly criticized for when he, with the boys' team. There was a faction there that just didn't like him. Outstanding. He taught me. I would watch his practices, and I learned a lot about basketball just by watching him. He would have been a great AD, I think. Organizational skills, the way he ran his program, and when I look back on my career, I had relatives in Williamsport, and we would go up and play Williamsport. You know, the Millionaires in his brand new high school, and it was so much fun. Good experience, tremendous coach. I even learned how to break a press break watching him.
By the way, here's an interesting stat for you. Of all the coaches in Cape Atlantic basketball history who have coached 5 years or more, Joe Fussner has the best winning percentage in boys and girls.
Wow, yeah, I can believe.
Pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive. Tony, how about John Parentazzi?
Oh, wow.
John's my gumball. We go back again to the early years of the Millville-Vineland rivalry. John's roommate in college was Bob Hogan, one of my assistant coaches. So Bob introduced me to John, and love at first sight. So we just became, the best of friends. Traveled to camps together, worked camps together, coached all-star games together. He was talking about legends. Here comes Paul Rodeo, the real legend. But anyway, John was just a really special guy, and I miss him dearly.
Frank, how about George Bressel?
Oh, wow. George, a philanthropic individual, always getting involved, supporting Atlantic City High School, as well as a number of other schools in the area. And Calvi Electric has done so much for the area. A lot of people don't know that.
Still doing it.
Yeah, and they're still doing it. And it's not like you have to hound them or anything. Sometimes they don't even reach out to you. They've been tremendous supporters, not only Atlantic City High School, but a lot of the local schools. And real good person, as well as his son, Michael Bressel.
You and George used to travel to games together.
Yeah. With Senator Whalen sometimes, and Bill Rafferty. Good guys.
That was a great foursome. Great foursome.
Yeah.
We'll be back with Frank Campo, Tony Surace. What do you think about the changes in high school sports since you got involved?
Well, let me just say this. I wish in my career I had a lot of other responsibilities. I could have spent more time with the NJSA, looking at rules, trying to change rules. I just didn't have the time, to be honest with you.
But this guy knew every rule in the book. Because if we had a question and couldn't get Loper, that's the guy to call.
But it's recently, like the new transfer rule, where there's no penalty involved for up to 6 semesters, one time only, which actually means 3 years. You can transfer and no penalty. I understand that the NJSA could never ever monitor that. They'd have to hire 5 or 6 people, but at the same time, I just see too many people transferring from one school together. And what about loyalty? Life skills. Like, are you going to do that later on in life? You have to. There's a challenge on your job, so you quit, you move on, or even in a marriage. There's challenges. You have to stay and be dedicated to things. That's my. And this NIL, which I still don't understand, the money thing, and the school, you can't use the school's logo, and the coach can't get involved, but the kid can receive benefits. I mean, really, it's high school sports, really. And I'm out of the loop, and I didn't, do much research. And the last thing is, I still say, and I'm not going to get into the Thanksgiving Day game, the way the new football structure is doomed. It's doomed.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, so down in the future.
Atlantic City, Holy Spirit, Mobile, Vineland, gone. Right. Ocean City, Pleasantville.
Well, they played early this year.
Tony, what about you and the changes that have taken place?
Well, I concur with Frank. I think the transfer rule, I was talking to my son Bobby, he said that the quarterback at Don Bosco transferred last week, 1 week before the opening game, 0 week.
Jesus.
I mean, this doesn't make any sense for whatever reason, disgruntled, or I don't know all the, the reasons for that, but and like Frank said, the NIL money in high school, I don't understand it in college, let alone, going down into high school where, some of these top kids, and I'm thinking, Frank, it's more basketball than probably any other sport, but the purity of the game is kind of going by the wayside. I'm not sure all these changes are for the better. A lot of the safety changes, they're good. I know back when I started, some of the hours we put in on the field and contact drills and things were probably not the best thing to do as you look back. I don't know about you, Frank, but I can remember times we didn't have water on the field, because got to make them tougher. We gave them salt tablets, worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
So, you evolve and you learn things over the course of time, and I think those changes, health-wise, are good.
We'll have more with Tony and Frank.
You probably
Now, Frank, you got time on your hands?
Yeah. What am I doing now?
You have any goals yet?
First, if I would have read the way I read now, it would have been Lee Iacocca coming out of high school. All right. I can't believe I'm spending too much money on books. But I'm still involved with the Atlantic City High School Hall of Fame. I'm the treasurer of that. I'm still involved in the old grad committee, which picks the best multi-sport senior male-female athlete in Atlantic County. And I try to play golf once in a while.
You say try.
Yeah, and I use one word too much when I play.
How about fishing?
Oh, I haven't fished in a while. I did fish when I went to Virginia and all that, but I will fish. Just a lot going on these days.
Tony, how do you keep
and
it?
We visit both our sons are in different states, so we spend time planning and traveling. Oh, right.
That's great. Tony, what about you?
Well, I'm Still very involved as a committee member on the National Football Foundation, as one of the charter members. Frank was a member for many years. It's a great organization. Mike Gatley will be stepping down as president this year. Has done a great job. It's just a great organization honoring football players and high school football players and many others in the area. So I'm very involved with that and helping them raise money. Vice president of the Thunderbolt Club and the Sports Hall of Fame takes up a lot of time. We write all the bios for the honorees, put the plaques together, and you always want to say, well, get the other guy to do it, but the other guy never does it, so you end up doing it. So I enjoy doing it. It's a great thing for the kids in Millville. We have when the season starts, we have a banquet for every season, and I don't make every one of them, but I'm there at almost every one of them. And then we have our scholarship banquet at the end of the year. It takes up quite a bit of time. And like Frank, my grandkids are out of town. The furthest away are the little ones up in Boston, 10 and 8, and then we get to see them a few times a year. Just had them for a week, and then
who have become Red Sox fans, by the way, right?
Well, the girl did. The boy's still wearing Volpe jersey. He's good. He told me he's not changing, so we'll see. But Bob's kids are in, Princeton. One's playing lacrosse at Columbia. Got up to about 5 or 6 of her games this year. They play in the early spring, freezing out. I mean, we're bundled up. It was horrible weather up in Manhattan. Terrible drive up there. But anyway, go up to see her playing, and of course my grandson playing football at Notre Dame.
His grandson's playing football at Notre Dame, he says. His picture's on NJ.com more than Aaron Rodgers. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the state, and he's going where?
Rutgers.
So
he had a phenomenal game. I don't know. I keep him humble to let him know that I'm not sure that the competition allowed him to gain all those yards. But no, he's a good kid. He works hard, and hopefully they have a great class of 24. They have a top 15 class coming in his year. So hopefully they can, turn it around. There's a big article on NJ.com on the lack of quarterback stability at Rutgers. So I hope the kid that's there now does well, and maybe AJ can come in and compete.
The sad thing is that Rutgers doesn't play Princeton.
No, there had been talk about that a few years ago. It really wasn't. Bob didn't want to play it early and get guys hurt, and Shiano didn't want to play it late and have an opportunity to maybe even lose a game that they don't want to lose. So never materialized.
We'll be back with a final word.
Prime Events receives continuous support from Shoppy's Trophies and Gifts. Order online at Shoppy.com. Calvi Electric, with over 110 years of excellence in electrical contracting. Gillian's Wonderland Pier, amusements with a family in mind on the Ocean City Boardwalk. Shore True Value Hardware, they're ready to help on New Road in Summers Point. Johnson's Famous Popcorn, open all year on the Ocean City Boardwalk. Blue Water Graphics, if you need signs, you need Captain Charlie. And Ulmer's Appliances, a family-owned and operated business in Cape May County for 50 years.
Well, thanks for joining us here at Iliano's Ristorante in Hamilton. Special thanks to Frank Campo.
Thanks for having me.
Tony Surace.
Always a pleasure.
And all the people here. If you missed some of this interview, it will be up on primeevents.net, along with our first with Paul Rodeo and Paul Sacco, and we've got more to come. So stay with us. We'll have more conversations for you.